Hello everyone, I hope you are. This is CoinsKid. I'm just going to dive into Bitcoin once again. Thank you for your support. So yesterday I did a live stream in the Discord server. That was amazing. Thank you for the feedback in there, by the way. That was amazing. We went through so many coins. I actually lost track of myself. I think I was in there for about 3 hours. I was going to do another video on Kasama, and I got a bit sidetracked because someone tweeted yesterday Kasama's having an upgrade today, and and I was going to do a video, the last video last night, but it broke out and I didn't get the video out, so I do apologise. I am dropping a lot of tweets and trades in the Discord and the altcoins as well, so definitely do take advantage of all that content. Okay, so right now Bitcoin, I want to reassure you, is looking relatively healthy and good for continuation. There is a trend line that I've got my eye on in the weekly RSI here. Okay, now if we was to see a roll, which to be honest with you I'm kind of anticipating a bit of a roll, I am, full transparency, I think it would be healthy, to be honest with you. It doesn't mean it has to come though. Just because I want to see it and just because the charts are kind of screaming it does not mean it has to come. It could actually break out here, just so you know. But I've gave you your targets if it does roll. Okay, if it does roll and it's tying up like wave one, everything's very very similar bar the Krona dump, obviously. That came back to the 0382. When it rallied into the resistance, came back to 0382 for support continuation. Fantastic. And look, once we broke that level of resistance, that rally, which was 28% from this local high, it broke it and it went on some, right? So again, I anticipate that once you break this local high here at 50,748, I think you're going to absolutely explode here. You might do something like you did here, come up, get a bit of extended, fall back into it as support, boom, see you later. Okay, and that's where you broke the all-time high just there at 20k and you just took off basically. So I think that Bitcoin's got that in front of it, provided it can hold support and continue, and obviously equally break resistance and hold that as support. So yeah, I mean, it's uncanny, how you've rallied to 28% from this high as you did with wave 2. You found that low just there, you rallied 28% from the high, fell back to support for continuation. So you've got to look at that and respect what it's done before, because it could do it again. And this is why I always say to you, but people think I've got a crystal ball, or I'm chatting shit. I'm not. All I'm doing is relaying what I see in the charts, and you can see it, and I'm explaining it as best as I can. Okay, so if you do see a roll in the market, it is an if as well. It is an if. It's not a definite. Please remember that. It's not a definite. You break out here, you break this resistance, you're gone. But if you keep hitting your head and fail to break it, you're going to come back for support. That's how it works. Okay, so if you was to come back, you've got two key levels of support right here for Bitcoin. Okay, one, previously in the wave 2 correction, you rallied into the level of resistance, 28% from the high. What did you do? You fell back to the 0382, okay, for support. You had a 20% correction. Now if you do start to see a roll, okay, you've got two levels of support here. You can see pretty much on the weekly you are rolling already. You ran into resistance and your descent has already begun. So look, you sort of, how far are you in? 5.6%. You've gone about 7.9%. You've rallied a bit more. But if you do start to see a continuation, you could see a little 11.71% roll down to 0236, at 44,384, which would be golden. But if you do start to lose that particular level of support, this is where you can see yourself fall all the way down to the 382 at 40,853, and the market could have a whopping correction. Now if you do look closely, look on the daily time frame here, that is a previous cluster of resistance. Do you see this on the way up? Resistance, see this green line, this could be a technical target for a fallback if we was to see a correction in the market here for Bitcoin. Okay, you've got two levels that are really keen interest to me. This red line, the 0236, look, the 0236, which currently sits at 44,384, okay, golden, which is where the 55 is as well. So it could just go to that. Okay, but if you do start to lose this fib, like I've taught you, when you lose fibs, you target the next fib. And this is where you could see the 0382 come into play, and you could see its previous resistance. Look, as we fell down, resistance, it was a little bit of resistance there. We came back for support of DMAs, which provided us a support to actually break through that resistance. Pretty much like what's happening here. Okay, we're looking for support to break us through this resistance. Like honestly, if we adhere to this 20 now, it's going to keep creeping up, and over the next few days, couple of weeks, so to speak, in September, if we continue to adhere to the 20, this in itself will see you break this high here at 50k. Okay, because it's going to do something like this. If you continue to adhere to it, look, the 20, like I said to you, an uptrend, when you're above a 20 on any time frame, you do something like that, you're creating one big horizontal ascending triangle with a breakout target. You break, you're gone. Okay, but obviously if you lose support, you're going to roll. You've got a fib target there, 236 at 44384. You lose that, you're looking at a fib test of the 382 at 40835. Okay, which, like I've shown you, resistance, 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 possibly turn into support. Okay, and that would offer a fantastic opportunity, because like what I said to you, one of the things I want to see for me, if this does happen, if we do have a correction, it is all a big if. Okay, we could absolutely just melt faces here and just march on, you know, break that high. You're looking great, aren't you? So if you come down to this line here, this trend line, this white line, okay, look, every time you come down to it and bounce, golden opportunity. Okay, so that's basically Bitcoin. I'll have a quick look on the 4-hourly time frame, see if we can see anything. Okay, so looking at Bitcoin on the 4-hourly time frame, then you can see this particular channel that we've had our eyes on, that's gone. We've lost it. So effectively you're rolling out of it, which is actually quite negative, but you're entering a level of consolidation, okay, which is actually quite healthy. But the only thing is that's negative here for Bitcoin is you've got a 4-hour def cross, okay, and potentially you ran it rallying into this particular def cross. So look, the whole way up here you form this beautiful buy and go to the beach signal on the 4-hourly down here when you was in this falling wedge. Okay, formed it, broke it, fell into its support, see you later. And ever since then you've been falling back into it as support, and you've never created a def cross. You prevented one just there, and you created a slingshot which projected you up, but you failed to break the high. You failed to come up and test this level of resistance of this trend line that you was adhering to. Okay, so you've fallen out of it. So you're either going to roll more, or you're going to consolidate and go sideways at the minute before you allow the EMAs to come back up and catch up with you. But you can see right now what's negative here for Bitcoin is you are rallying into this def cross as resistance. Okay, just like you fell back into this bullish cross as support, you are now rallying into this as resistance. So technically that is, it's pushing you down, because if you continue to adhere to that as resistance, this is where you're going to keep rolling, okay, and potentially coming down to retest another key level of support. So it's looking for a correction. Do you understand that? Okay, but what you're doing here, this is quite bullish actually. I'm going to show you there's a little pattern that's potentially forming, okay, because I think I said to you, you lose this local high here, you're looking at a retest of this low here, and you can see you've not quite come down to that low at 46302. So it's almost, it's like it wants to get there. So you could be looking at a further, you know, a depreciation here for around about 2.93% for Bitcoin, coming down to this low here, which again is this swing high. And like I said to you, you start to lose this particular level of support just here. Let me drop this in. If you lose this level of support just here for Bitcoin, that could be negative, and you could roll back to this trend line just here. Okay, now this red line here, that is the worst case scenario for me for Bitcoin. That's your worst case scenario. That's your biggest dip that you'll see for Bitcoin. This just here, this swing low at 43963, this kind of makes more sense to me for Bitcoin to come down to. Basically, if you was to see a continuation and a loss of support, you could be looking at around about 7.6%, okay, which would be from this high just here around about 13% down to that low just there, because it's a swing low. Okay, and like I said to you, you lose swing highs, you target swing lows, and that's almost like it looks as though it's trying to get there, but it's not going to get there overnight, is it? You know, and if you can keep creeping down here, adhering to this trend line as support, like you, because you've basically broken out of a falling channel, you come back up and you're creating another falling channel. That's actually quite a bullish falling wedge down. I'm going to show you right now. Okay, so it's all patterns within patterns. If you continue to adhere to this, to the EMAs like this, and you keep hitting your head, you're going to come down like this, yeah, and eventually come down to this technical target down here. Because if you lose this low just here, what have you got? You've got a swing low, because you've lost a swing high. Do you understand that? So you will be looking at a technical target of this swing low, which currently sits at 43939, which is a 0236, isn't it, on the fib retracement right there. You know, this is your deep retracement down here to the low end of 40k, which again, if you start to lose this support, you're going to be looking at that. But that's a hefty correction. It might not come, but I always show you your support targets if you lose support. Okay, so yeah, right now Bitcoin is looking a little bit under pressure, to be honest with you, unless you break out this key level support. I'm just going to show you right now this potential target the pattern that you're forming right here. Okay, you've got a couple of patterns. You've got some kind of bullish broadening channel just there. Okay, so if you break this high just there, you will see a retracement to where you form the channel just there. Do you see that? Okay, and you would essentially be coming back into this channel this ascending channel. Do you see that? And this could be a bit of a throwback, but you know, you are under resistance to the 4-hourly EMAs, and if you continue to do that, this is what's going to contribute to your downtrend. You see that, and it's going to push you down to a key level of support before getting continuation. So right now there is another pattern just there. You've got a W double bottom pattern just there that's starting to form for Bitcoin. Okay, that is boom, 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 boom. You come up and you break that level of resistance, you're looking at a pump here, and you would be breaking out, to be honest with you. You would be breaking out from there to there. You would break that level of resistance, and that would see you retrace to where you form this bullish broadening channel. Do you see that? So if you see Bitcoin right now come up and break and start to close above that 48025 and start to hold them back to support, you would be having a lovely little technical target just there to the upside of around 49498, okay, which would bring you back into this channel. But at the minute, you're hitting your head on the 4-hourly EMAs in a death cross. So until you can break above them, you are in a downtrend on the 4-hourly time frame. Do you understand that? Okay, you're looking for a key level of support. So your primary level of support, because you've not necessarily tested it, because you've lost this high just here, is 46327. So if you continue to hit your head, you will see Bitcoin roll, and you will see it come down to this particular level of support. 3.1% short up, right? Now if you start to lose that as support, 46327, you are most definitely going to come down to this level of support, which is a further 5.06% loss for Bitcoin, coming down to 43939. And again, if you start to see that loss of support, which I think is a major level of support, by the way, but if you do start to see that loss of support, you will be falling a further 7.28% down to 4079. Okay, so that's basically Bitcoin at the minute. That's as much as I can tell you. You know, you are under the pressure of the 4-hourly EMAs. You know, you're in a death cross, which is a bad sign, to be honest with you. You know, if you continue to hit your head, you're looking at a continuation to the downside here. Break this level of resistance at 40825, would be getting back above the EMAs right here for Bitcoin. Hold and back test, and you would see a lovely little impulsive move. Breaking that level of resistance, you would be looking at a beautiful long up of around about 3.1, almost 3%, up to 49498. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. Hope you enjoyed that update. I hope you understand what I'm saying as well. That's Bitcoin. Take care, everyone. Back soon with another update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned, and thank you for your support. Bye bye.